But, man, this is a team. This is a team. I'm going to talk about Malcolm. Man, he's hustling this year. He's doing his things. Problem is, dadgummit, when he defends, he can't stop but put his hands on somebody smaller than him, and he's got to touch him and get a foul. Still got to work on that. Brown's got to get in better shape. We got a lot of Tiger basketball to talk about. We got to talk about Tiger football. My goodness. Do they just like to live on the edge?
Yeah, they didn't play well on Saturday at all.
No, they didn't, but somehow they pulled it out of their keister, didn't they?
Because Charlotte's awful. John, I got Memphis at plus 590 money line on Saturday when they were down 10. There was no way they were going to win.
You took them plus 590?
There was no way they were going to lose that game, John. I mean, Charlotte is awful.
Let me tell you something. In the last couple minutes, I thought for sure they were going to lose that game.
There was not a second in that game on Saturday.
I was so mad that I was
thought
watching.
They were gonna lose that game.
I was so mad that I was on ESPN Plus watching the Tiger game when I was.
I've watched enough Charlotte football and Memphis football this year that game played out exactly like I thought it would. And there was, especially late when it became a shootout and both teams were just getting the ball and scoring, I said, there's no way Charlotte's going to win this game. Memphis is going to get a stop, and they're going to win this game. And it played out exactly like I thought it would.
How bad is the Tiger defense's tackling?
Yeah, it's pretty atrocious. Let's go. Actually, I haven't even looked. Let's go see what PFF says how many tackles they missed. That's a game I like to play every
Mother of
week.
goodness. That was
game.
one of the worst. I mean, I thought they were bad against Navy. Man, Charlotte was terrible. But the key is they came back and won the game. They came back and won the game. That was it was a little bit scary. And the other thing that was scary, did you see my man Blankupsy land on his dadgum head?
Yeah, scary.
And he didn't even move. I thought he was out. I mean, I was like, man, that was ugly. We saw a few plays like that this weekend.
Actually, not a lot of missed tackles. Only 14 missed tackles.
Well, they can't count very well. I guess when you completely whiff and don't touch somebody, I guess they don't call that a miss.
Julian Barnett, it says, had 6 missed tackles. Is that what I just saw?
So that's definitely not grading out too well. Speaking of football, by the way, we've got the Fire game. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, everyone and their mother's getting fired. Texas
A&M beat Mississippi State 51-10. Everybody knows Jimbo Fisher got fired. Plus 70, he's going to have 76 plus million reasons not to be very sad. I will tell you one person who is sad in the Fisher family, and that's his wife. Jimbo Fisher was at work all the damn time. Now this dude, and she was out spending his bread. Now this dude's going to be at home all the time. Poor lady. Feel so bad for her. And then Mississippi State, they fired Zach Arnett. Yep, so both coaches fired. I kind of get it. I really do. Ross Bjork is the AD, formerly of Ole Miss at Texas A&M. He said the program was stuck in neutral. Now they really got to go out there, and Ross, for the sake of his job, has got to hit a home run. We're going to talk about Texas A&M's coaching search with Jake Crane. We'll talk, of course, about Jim Harbaugh as well. Michigan, no coach, no problem. Lord have mercy, that was a beatdown. We'll talk about Georgia's beatdown of Ole Miss. There was just so many crazy things that we got to get to. You had Cody Schrader run all over Tennessee. This dude was a walk-on at Truman State, a D2 school, and he just ran roughshod all over Tennessee. Oh, and by the way, 200 yards receiving, 200 yards rushing, 100 yards passing.
Incredible.
Dude balled out. But, man, a dude who balls out every single day, you need to check him on Crane and Company. I'm telling you, that's how you need to start your day. If you're tired of those shows in the morning where they just yell at each other and you don't learn anything, need to go watch Crane and Company. My buddy Jake joins me now. What's up, Jake?
Man, Johnny Radio, what is up? Dude,
Man.
we are already moving towards week 12. I can't believe it.
Yeah, it's a wild, wild world that we live in. But week 11, it had a whole lot of fireworks, you could say. You had the Fire Bowl, where you had Texas A&M beat the brakes off Mississippi State, but both coaches leave that game and get fired. Jimbo Fisher is going to get $76 million. Do you know who the largest this is kind of a little trivia for you. Do you know who had the biggest buyout before Jimbo Fisher? Auburn has a little something to do with it. I thought so. Why you might know it.
Was it Malzahn?
$22 million. It was Gus Malzahn. Now $76+ million to say goodbye to Jimbo Fisher for Ross B. Isn't that wild?
Yeah, it's. You talk about failing up. You brought up Missouri earlier. Man, I was shocked. Not that Missouri was able to score. I mean, I've watched Tennessee put stinkers together on the road. You just go back and look at Florida. You look at the second half against Alabama when they look like a totally different team. But it was the offensive part for Missouri being able, because Missouri's pass defense is awful. But it was Joe Milton regressing back to the mean. Johnny Radio, something we've talked about. The dude goes on these adventures where he can't make routine throws routine, routine throw routine, and then the next game looks like Joe Montana down the field. It was kind of regressing to the mean.
Yeah, and that's what we've seen from Milton. Real quick though, since Josh Heupel, does he have a real problem when he's on the road? If you've noticed, they've improved a whole lot, but they ain't road warriors, are they?
No, and look, it's hard to win on the road. We all know that. But, at the end of the day, the unfortunate part for Heupel is the guy that was worst on the road just got fired, so you can't point to anybody anymore being Jimbo Fisher. 0 for his last 9 on the road.
Eli Drinkwitz, do you think he's got a case? I mean, I know he's got a case. Do you think he can actually win Coach of the Year? Again, you turned basically my man Brady Cook into an absolute monster. You got a D2 kid, former walk-on, leading the SEC in yards per game at 112.4. You're second in the SEC East. What do you think about Drink?
I mean, I think he's done an amazing job. The good thing for Drink is there's 35,000 coaching awards. So I know you have the one main Coach of the Year. Then obviously you have the Conference Coach of the Year. But he'll win it. If Missouri ends up winning out, he'll end up winning one of those kind of like offshoot coaching awards. But, man, you talk about a guy that was a little bit on the hot seat. You talk about that Kansas State game was massive for Eli Drinkwitz earlier this year. Because, remember, they gave him the extension last year, the 2-year extension at the end of last year. And a lot of Missouri fans were like, why? Why did we do this? Well, he made good on it, that's for sure. But Brady Cook, not only that, they get Brady Cook back and Luther Burden back and a couple of those other pieces. And Eli's done a really good job recruiting. So the future's bright for Missouri, man. Yeah,
it looks like they're going to be able to they got Florida and Arkansas. Arkansas has definitely mailed it in. That was embarrassing what you saw this weekend, and Florida's just no good. I will say Jaden Daniels is that dude. My God, the performance he put on. Where would LSU be without Jaden Daniels?
Oh, God. Listen, Nuss isn't a bad player at all, but he's not Jaden Daniels. I think Jaden Daniels right now is the best offensive player in college football, and you can make a case for the best player overall in college football because he does so much. But I tell you, we asked this question on the show, and Johnny Radio, I'd like to know what you think about it. What would be worse as a fan of a team? Being a fan of like Penn State, where you're really elite on defense, but absolute garbage on offense, or be a fan of a team like LSU, where it's vice versa, and you're incredible on offense and bad on defense? It's got to be more fun to be incredible on offense, right?
It's got to be a lot more fun because you can always have a hope and a prayer that, there's a tip pass at the line of scrimmage that you can eventually get a stop. When your offense is bad, it's brutal. And speaking of Penn State, though, I got to get over on this one real quick. Michigan ran 32 straight times. My man J.J. McCarthy only had to throw 8 passes the whole damn game. And Michigan just beat Penn State up physically throughout that. And James Franklin now is 3-17 against top 10 teams. He should be on the hot seat.
Well, look, here's what I told my brother. He said the same thing. And listen, I get it. I think James Franklin's like 4-16 overall against Michigan and Ohio State, which just so happen to not only be in your same conference, in your same division. But I think that does it help anybody out more than Penn State when we're going away from division, so now you don't have that problem, and there's a 12-team playoff? I think Penn State may be the biggest beneficiary. They're going to give him time on that. And plus, at the end of the day, if you want to get into the 10-2 isn't good enough stuff or the 9-3 isn't good enough, that's how Nebraska turned into Nebraska, in my opinion, or at least screwed up their trajectory back to somewhat of a time of the past with Bo Pelini and what's gone on there. Saw a little bit of that same stuff with Tennessee. But, man, you won 9 games at Vanderbilt twice. I feel like that almost gets you an infinity stone.
All right, now after this weekend, we saw Georgia just bum rush Ole Miss. Michigan pounded Penn State physically, only needed to throw 8 passes. Oregon, they dominated the game in USC. USC did cover, as you like to say, good teams win, great teams cover. But Oregon looks like that full team. Right now, who are your top 4 teams that you're the most scared of? And again, Alabama, by the way, has figured it out with Jalen Milroe. Are those the 4 best teams in the country, and who do you like the best?
I mean, yeah, those. I mean, 80% of people are probably going to tell you that. Here's what I think about the Oregon game. I was surprised that Oregon didn't score over 40. I thought that was going to be basically automatic. But if you look at the way the pace of that game was going and what the two coaches were doing, it kind of makes sense, right? You had Oregon on one hand, who was moving the ball at will, but they wanted to keep Caleb Williams off the field because they know that's USC's only move, so they were taking time in between plays. They let that the play clock get down under 10 most of the night. And then on the other side, if you're USC, you want to be able to move the ball. Yeah, you want to score to be able to catch up. But you leave your defense out on the field, who'd already been out on the field most of the game. It's not going to behoove you in the end. So I can understand why it ended up, being a little bit more low scoring than what we thought. But that makes sense. So my top 4 teams right now, I've still got to go. I picked Michigan to win it at the beginning of the year. I still believe that. So give me Michigan 1, give me Georgia 2, give me Bama 3, and Oregon 4. I think Oregon's going to beat Washington in a rematch of the Pac-12 championship game. And Alabama, it's amazing when you tailor the offense to the strengths of your quarterback, and your quarterback happens to be an elite, amazing athlete, you get good stuff. So I would say those are my top 4 right now.
Man, I can't argue with it. Bo Nix, though, his performance, 4 touchdowns, 412 yards. They were running the ball, throwing the ball. Everything was at will, and I'm glad that pace was the way it was. Also, Caleb Williams, taking the ball all the way down to 5 seconds while he's, reading the defense. Because I had that under, and that was that was a crucial game. But Oregon, I mean, they dominated. The score doesn't look like it, but that was huge. Who's the Heisman favorite right now?
Well, like Johnny Radio, I always say this. It's like, how do you define what the Heisman is? I think we all act like
award.
Everybody defines it differently, right? Like, Is it the best player, the most valuable player, the best player in the country? To me, and I know you can't go like 5 and 7 and be considered the best player in the country in most times, but I guess you could. That would be Jaden Daniels, right? Mm-hmm. That would be Jaden Daniels. But if it is the best player on one of the best teams, or the player that won games because they were on, one of the best teams and had a couple big moments, I still think it's got to be Michael Penix right now. But Bo Nix and him are going to be able to work it out again. And look, I tell you, I don't think it's crazy to throw a little on Carson Beck, man.
I was getting ready to go there. I was going to say, is he the most underrated quarterback? For some reason, nobody's talking about. He's probably one of the most accurate quarterbacks I've seen in a long time. Plus, he's so calm, and he doesn't have a pulse. I mean, the guy never gets rattled. He just looks like he just got done leaving the brothel. He's very chill when he's out on the field. He's been tearing it up, and I have to say it. I can't believe this. Mike Bobo's calling a good game.
Yeah, listen, I think that's a couple things with Carson Beck. One, he doesn't do anything super flashy, or he doesn't have like a superpower, but he really does. He makes the right decision every time. That's a superpower in itself. Their offensive line is incredible. The amount of time he has to throw, and now that they're getting healthier, including getting Kendall Milton back, getting Amarius Mims back, they're only getting stronger. But yeah, he's not hip. He's the guy who you walk in the YMCA or the rec center, and he's like 35 years old with a headband and high socks, and y'all are laughing at him until he drops 35 on you when you guys go play because he's so unbelievably fundamental. I almost want to start calling him Mr. Gonzaga.
I like that because he's just vanilla.
Should we start our own award, the Mr. Gonzaga Award?
I like it. I like that. So you're so zag. Now, this is very, very important to get to. I like it. Ross B. York, by the way, his job is now hanging in the balance. He just fired Jimbo Fisher, by the way, who he hired. Well, he gave that huge extension to. If he misses with this next hire, he's out of a job. Who's he going to go out there and get that's going to appease not only the fan base but actually get results on Saturday?
Yeah, obviously, Ross, when you're the AD at a place like A&M or anywhere down here, football's the biggest hire. You are graded and weighed and judged on that. Listen, I opened the show with this today. If Texas A&M is serious about winning a national championship, and I know they are, just look at the amount of money that they're paying, you got to go get Urban Meyer. You got to go get him, right? And to me, some people say, "Oh no, everybody acts like Urban's like Kim Jong-un, but like he did all these awful things. And in the grand scope of it, what Bobby Petrino did is just as bad, if not worse. And you went and hired him. I don't think he's out there giving inspirational speeches to kids at the Boys and Girls Club on how to treat people. Like I mean, you look around the rest. He's on Fox every Saturday, like wearing some Bond villain glasses. Like if A&M, you haven't won a Natty since 1939. Since before we stepped into World War II. If you really want to go win one and you really want to try and get to that precipice, sometimes you got to embrace the darkness to reach the light. It's Urban Meyer for me.
I like it. I do like it. I got to say, nice guys, they finished last for a reason. And Urban Meyer's not a nice guy. He likes to win. He wins everywhere he goes except for the National Football League because pros don't like to be treated the way college kids do. But what do you think? Is there any chance that Texas A&M, for some reason, doesn't want Urban Meyer? Who do they go after? Do you go out to Kalen DeBoer? Do you go after Dan Lanning? Dan Lanning, though, by the way, at Oregon, feels so damn Oregon. I know he, was under Kirby Smart at Georgia, but he just looks the part. I mean, Mike Elko. Who do you go get if you can't get Urban Meyer?
Well, I don't think they're going to. Not that A&M doesn't have to doodle some money, obviously, but I don't think they're going to pay what Dan Lanning. For Dan Lanning to leave Oregon, what has to happen? I don't think A&M is going to pay that after what just happened with the buyout. The second thing is, Kevin DeBoer, I don't see him leaving Washington. He's in such a good situation there. If it's not Urban Meyer, I mean, you got to think, obviously, it's probably Mike Elko, right? A guy that has experience over there that's doing a heck of a job at Duke. He knows how things operate. But, Jeff Traylor's name's popped up, and that's great. Jamie Chadwell's the guy, that name's popped up, and that's great. But if you want the proven commodity, it's almost like the transfer portal versus a high school player. Yeah, you can project, and you may be right, but I know a whole heck of a lot more about the guy that's already played in this level and has won big in this level. I could see a world in which if they don't get Urban or that's not their move, that they go to somebody that's been there before. That's what I think.
They got to definitely, one thing I can say, they better find somebody that can make sure they can evaluate quarterback talent, because Jimbo Fisher, when everybody was loving him, I mean, you got to realize he turned Jamarcus Russell into a pro, Christian Ponder, E.J. Manuel, Jameis Winston. Those dudes were all first-rounders. Then all of a sudden, you get some bad quarterbacking. He inherited Kellen Mond, but Zach Calzada, heck, Haynes Keene's done better at Georgia Tech than he did when he was at Texas A&M. That Eli Stowers got in recently. I mean, if you miss on quarterbacks, you basically can kiss your career goodbye.
Yeah, you better be a juggernaut everywhere else. You better be incredible around them. That's why, look, it's one of the hardest parts to evaluate. That's part of the deal. You better be able to find the quarterback. Ask Clemson how that's going when you don't have one. Kind of flip them pretty quick. But look, A&M's a place that they have every resource. They have an unbelievably supportive fan base. If anybody can figure it out and actually become who they think they are, I really do think it's A&M. You mentioned earlier Mike Elko. It just made me think about North Carolina. Did you see where North Carolina stormed the field after they beat Duke this week? Dude, what's going on?
Were they not a 10-point favorite in that game?
Water? Duke is in football? I don't even think North Carolina storms the court in basketball when they beat them, unless there's like a buzzer beater or something. Yet you're going to storm the field in football when you're ranked and Duke's not with their backup quarterback in? What type of casual nonsense is this?
It's absolutely insane, to be honest with you. But I'm telling you, everybody, if you're listening to me, you can get it on a podcast. You can listen to it anytime you want. You can pull it up on your TV like I do in the morning. Just go to YouTube, Crane and Company. You can just speak into your dead gum, your remote control these days. Say Crane and Company, YouTube, bam, it's right there when you want it. They go 5 days a week, plus you do things on the weekend. Jake, what you got? What you got coming down the pipe this week?
Man, we're still. Obviously, college football continues to heat up. Talking about the NFL, college basketball's here. If you love sports, if you love listening to the old school way of sports, not that we don't have fun, listen to just a bunch of segments that get off my lawn. But come check us out, like Johnny Radio said.
Man, I had one other thing I got to know. Broncos Bills tonight. You got to play for us. That line right now is sitting in Buffalo.
I'm all over the Bills minus 6.5. All over it, like a fat kid on a cupcake.
Bills minus 6.5. Broncos coming out to bye. Bills are going to finally get right. Josh Allen, no turnovers, hopefully. Watch Crane and Company. Follow Jake on Twitter at Jake Crane _. Follow Crane and Company at Crane and Company. Jake, be blessed. Thanks for the time, my man.
You too, JR. Appreciate it, buddy.
That is Jake Crane. Now, we are late for a break because we got to talk about some Tiger basketball on the other side with Terry D. Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
I'm Gary York. I'm the service director at Lexus of Memphis. Our service department wants to be more than just a place where you get your oil changed. We do glass repair, windshield replacement, recalibration of your camera and sonar systems, even wheel repair, tire replacement, all the things you would expect from a luxury automotive dealer. Please check out our website. You can schedule your appointment, check out our specials, hours of operation, or if you'd like to do it in person, please reach out to one of our associates at 901-271-5199.
Kevin Harlan here from Monday Night Football on Westwood One. This week, Josh Allen and the Bills meet the Broncos. Buffalo needs a win following last week's loss at the Bengals. Quarterback Russell Wilson and Denver are coming off a bye and a 2-game winning streak. Ross Tucker now have all the action of the Broncos at the Bills on Monday Night Football.
Right here on Sports 56.
Score early this NFL season with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 moneyline bet. That's $150 if your team wins. If you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, there's no better time to get in on the action. The app is so easy to use. There's a wide range of betting options, spreads, player props, over-unders, and more. I like putting a spread bet together with the over for my parlays, and anytime player touchdown always has me on the edge of my seat. So if you're ready to do the same, visit FanDuel.com/win and kick off the NFL season. That's FanDuel.com/win. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL.
21 plus and present in Tennessee. First online real money wager only. $5 pregame money line wager required. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call TN Redline 1-800-889-9789.
How long has it been since you heard the term being overstocked? Well, it's happened at Family Leisure. Yep. That means you get the savings, like select patio sets that are up to 50% off. If you need a play gym, you're in luck because they're also overstocked and start at under $2,000. Pool tables and game room items up to $700 off of in-stock items. Saunas, massage chairs, arcades, even theater seating. Special financing is available with free delivery. Family Leisure is extending sale pricing on all in-stock hot tubs and swim spas. And if you need supplies to close up your pool for the winter, Family Leisure has them up to 30% off. It's been a while since you've heard of an overstock sale, but Family Leisure is right in the middle of one. Huge deals and a huge overstocked inventory. That means great savings for you. It's happening now at Family Leisure, Whitten Road at I-40, where family and fun come together.
How's the Christmas shopping going? Yeah, that's what I thought. But Frontier Western Store will make it a lot easier. Everyone loves something from Frontier. They have thousands of coats, shirts, and boots. Outfit the entire family today. Looking for a Carhartt beanie? Frontier has every color they make. You'll find a whole wagon full of beanies. You'll also run into the largest selection anywhere of in-stock Carhartt and Ariat jackets and coats. They have endless aisles, an astounding collection at amazing prices. Don't forget the boots, work boots, and dress boots from Rocky, Dan Post, and especially Ariat. Frontier is the place to shop for name brand boots at the lowest prices every day. Way lower than chain stores and online. Thousands of boots in all sizes for men, women, and children. Not sure what to get? Frontier gift cards are always the right size, color, and price. Frontier Western Store, 5880 Goodman Road in Olive Branch, or shop online 24/7 at frontierwesternstore.com. Locally owned and operated since 1967.
Check, check. You might already know about the Acura MDX. V6 engine, seat 7. We have an announcement. We swapped that engine with a specially made 3-liter turbo V6, race-tuned the steering and suspension, and for the first time, added Type S performance to an SUV. So we're just gonna drop this right here. The Acura MDX and first ever MDX Type S. Acura, precision crafted performance.
Visit Acura of Memphis to learn more about the Acura MDX and the MDX Type S.
Now, back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. This hour is brought to you by Scooters Plus on Summer Avenue. Here once again is Johnny Radio.
Snap back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. Oh, there goes rabbit. He choke. He's so mad, but he won't give up. Daddies, he know he won't have it. He knows his whole back to these ropes. It don't matter. He's dope. He knows that, but he's broke. He's so stagnant. He knows when he goes back to this mobile.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio, hanging out with Brian Dacus all day long, all day strong. It's 11:30. It's a Monday. We're going to talk with Terry Davis, and we're going to talk some Tigers. Tiger football came back from the abyss and beat Charlotte. Tiger basketball, that second half was just amazing. Man, what a great weekend for the Tigers. If you won a lot of money like I did, go to Scooters Plus, 3425 Summer Avenue. Head on over there. They have the largest showroom around. And what are they showing? ATVs, UTVs, dirt bikes, motorcycles, scooters, go-karts, like dune buggies, golf carts, e-bikes, you name it, they got it. If it's got wheels, they have it at Scooters Plus. Parts, repairs, sales, and service, plus financing options available. You can check all that out online at scootersplus.us. What up, TD? How's life, brother?
What is it going with you? How was your weekend, man?
Man, okay, I had the most emotionally, like one of the most roller coaster weekends of all. But what do I always say on the radio? It's how you deal with the valleys to get back on top of the peaks. Also say, a shooter shoots. Also say, never, if you lose a bet, chase that joint. Because, man, I was up big on Friday. I was down big on Saturday. I was down bad on Sunday in the morning games. And I brought it all back, and now it's beautiful.
Okay. Good for you, my brother. You know, because I was on a high all weekend. The Lady Tiger soccer team won. Memphis blew out Missouri. The Grizzlies got a road win. It was shocking. The Lady Tigers won. My Steelers won. Everything's good.
Man.
What the else is wrong?
Dude, you did have a great weekend. I mean, I had a great weekend. Mine was just a little up and down, but damn, I didn't even think about it. Your Steelers, holy cow. Is that not, I mean, what Mike Tomlin's doing, he's been outgained in all 9 games this year, yet they're in second place in the AFC North at 6-3, only 1 game back of Baltimore.
It's just crazy how football is, man. Football is like a week-to-week league. And, you know, you could talk bad about a team this week, and 2 weeks later, you know, you're singing their praises. Just like a lot of people don't like the quarterback up in Cleveland, and every time they get a chance, they take a shot at him. But, you know, he got them where they want to be at. They're still in it. It's November. And they got a chance to do something special. So no matter how you like somebody or how, you know, it's all about the end result.
Yeah,
in
and
the
Kenny
NFL,
Pickett.
Right.
I mean, Kenny Pickett,
he
doesn't throw many touchdowns. He doesn't throw for hardly any yards, and he's terrible for 3 quarters. But money time, that dude in the fourth quarter makes things happen. And the most important thing is, with that defense, he does not turn the ball over.
Right, and that's what you want. You know, it's not by how many you win by. It's just that you win, and that's the most important thing when you come, especially pro football. You know, in college level, people, you know, they want to win by 5 points. They want to win by 50. They want to win by 30. But in the pros, you win by 1 and you move on. Just like there's some games yesterday. If people hadn't done dumb mistakes like that, the guy from Washington that did what he did and dropped the ball before he crossed the goal line. I know he wish he could have that back.
Man, you ain't lying. What about though? Also, man, like poor was it Boyd for Cincinnati who dropped the ball in the end zone and it could have been a touchdown to basically ice the game.
It's crazy. It's crazy, man. It just shows you the thin line of margin between winning and losing in the NFL.
Well, also
in college.
Well, also, I was going to say I was going to talk basketball first, but it looks like you might have to stay through this break because I need to talk a little football. Tigers, they did everything they could to give that game to Charlotte. Now they get SMU at the house next week. First and foremost, how the hell did they survive the Charlotte game?
Because unlike last year, this team knows how to win, and they just find ways to win. He told us he had some great receivers. We didn't believe him when he said he had great receivers. We just thought there was a quarterback talking about his players. But he got guys that come through in the clutch. The tight ends, we didn't know anything about the tight ends coming into the season. And look, and Doyle, and all those guys are coming through. They're not flashy, spectacular, but they're getting the job done.
I just still, though, in that game, you got to think about it. Tigers gave up a touchdown with 7 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter. Now they're trailing by 10, 38-28. They put together a quick little drive, 75 yards and 2:21. Then they kick the ball off to damn Charlotte. They hold it for a little bit. They get it back. They go 11 plays, 60 yards in the final 2:23, and only get the field goal to force overtime. And then basically that was the bad boy. In overtime they took over. Charlotte's just not that good. But man, why do they like to scare us? That's 2 weeks in a row that they have absolutely given Tiger fans heart attacks.
Because they're a very, very good team. But
3
they're not
weeks
a
in a
great
row,
team.
actually.
Right, because sometimes they play down to their opponent, and other times they play up to their opponent. Because they have 2 losses on the year, and both of their losses, a team is ranked in the top 25, but yet they won't get no. And both of those are one-score games, but they don't get any respect because they don't win the style points. They don't make it look easy. They don't make it look good. They don't make it look glamorous.
Man, okay, to be fair, they really don't. The only team that they kind of beat up this year was UAB. That's
exactly.
That was good one. But North Texas, they had to come back and behind to win that. South Florida, they gave up 50 points. Had to do the same thing there. Charlotte, they had to go into overtime. Damn. And again, you're right. The only losses they have is against a Missouri team that just thumped Tennessee. And again, Tulane hadn't lost a game other than Ole Miss this year.
Exactly, but they won't get they won't get style points for that because everybody compares every team that comes behind the 19 team to the Cotton Bowl team, and this team right here, they are still in the hunt for a New Year's Six bowl, but they just not getting the respect not only locally, but they're not even getting it nationally. I thought they would at least get some respect nationally because how many 82 teams are there left in the country?
Not very many.
Exactly. You got some teams that got 4 losses in the top 25, and they shouldn't be in the top 25. You got some teams that got there with 1 loss up there, and it's crazy. And I looked at the college football ranking. Memphis is ranked 40 in the RPI, which nobody look at RPI, and SMU is only 3 or 4 notches ahead of them. But yet they've been receiving votes for the last 3 weeks. Memphis still haven't received any votes. So if you go out there and beat SMU, you're back where you need to be.
Yeah, I was going to say that now they play SMU, who probably doesn't get a lot of respect either. The only loss they have they have 2 losses this year. TCU, who gave Texas everything they wanted yesterday or Saturday, and then Oklahoma, who was ranked that time, but now Oklahoma's kind of fallen off. Well, they beat the brakes out of West Virginia, but that's their only 2 losses this year. The only thing about SMU though is they beat up on Charlotte the way they should. They held Charlotte to 16 points. They beat up on East Carolina, and they killed Temple and Tulsa and Rice and North Texas. They kind of put the foot on people's throats, and they don't let you up. They beat Tulsa 69-10 and Temple 55-0.
Yeah, it's crazy. And like I said, I'm not a betting man, but I don't know what the over-under is going to be for this game, but I would take the over for this game, definitely. Because there's going to be a whole lot of scoring in this game.
I was shocked at seeing the over and under only at 66.5.
Yeah, I think it's going to be much, much, much over than that. I think both teams. I think they're going to combine for at least 1,200 total yards in this game. This will be one of the worst defensive games you've seen in a long time.
In the last 3 games, the Tigers' lowest total 82 points, and that was the Charlotte game.
Mm-hmm.
They gave 87 in North Texas combined, and then South Florida was 109.
It's going to be, it's kind of. I don't know what the crowd's going to be like. It's going to be an early kick, a 11 o'clock kick. It's going to be it's going to be nice, crisp, but it shouldn't be raining, so it should be a nice game to watch in person. So I hope a lot of people take it upon themselves to go out there and fill the bowl up this weekend.
Are you shocked that Memphis at home is catching 9 points against SMU?
No, I'm not. But that's a nice little line to have if you partake in such things of that nature.
Mm-hmm. Now, listen, I got to ask you a question. I know you're a busy man. Can you hold on for a break? We haven't even got to the Grizzlies and the Tigers.
Oh, yeah, of course I can.
Man, that's Terry D, man. You got to follow him at Terry D515. Read his stuff at the new Tri-State Defender, and always listen to him right here on Monday. We'll be back in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail talking Tiger hoops and Grizzlies. Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Start your day with Sports 56 Mornings with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy. Weekday mornings from 7 to 10, right here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Hey, everybody, that to-do list for the holidays? Well, you're going to want to write this down. Go to All-Star Chevy in Olive Branch. A lot of these new Silverados have red tags, and Kevin and Jeff said they'll get you financing as low as $1.9 or $2,000 cash. You can get one of these new Equinoxes with financing as low as $1.9 or $1,000 cash, and your good credit deserves it. And look, I'm out here in Olive Branch, and All-Star has any new Chevy you want. Tahoes, Trailblazers, and a lot of families I know love these new Traverses with all the cargo space and third-row seating. And so can you. And do more together this holiday season. Military, teachers, college students, healthcare. You get $500 bonus. And if you want certified pre-owned Chevys or any pre-owned car, All-Star has a lot full. Silverados, Ram trucks. Here's a Nissan Rogue, Lexus, Honda, Suburbans, Jeeps. If it's not here, just ask Jeff and he'll find it for you. Remember, it's not South Haven, not Mount Moriah or Bartlett or even Collierville. It's got to be Olive Branch, people. So find new roads to All-Star Chevy today or go to allstarautogroup.com.
Give me liberty and give me real estate. I'm Sheldon Rosengarten, and that was Hugh Mallory. Not only does he work with me at Mark Spenstorf Realtors, he's the president of this year's AutoZone Liberty Bowl. So Hugh, instead of sounding like Patrick Henry, what do you mean?
Well, Sheldon, like you, I sell real estate. I'm also privileged to serve as president of the 65th AutoZone Liberty Bowl, which will be held Friday, December 29th at 2:30. I'm able to handle all my clients, whether they're buying or selling, while participating in this great annual tradition.
Hugh, that is definitely quite an honor, and with your fabulous track record in real estate sales, I know you'll do a great job. Hugh will move you as something to remember, and you can reach Hugh Mallory at 497-9756. It's also why people often say that when you want the job done, call Shell Dunn. You can reach me, Shell Dunn Rosengarten, at 483-0546 or memphisrelocate.com. That's memphisrelocate.com or 483-0546. See you at the AutoZone Liberty Bowl on December 29th.
Welcome to Triumph Auto Sales, where you'll have a great car buying experience. Triumph Auto Sales is your #1 source of quality pre-owned vehicles ranging from lease returns to new car trades, all at huge savings. Plus, Triumph has a full array of financing options to meet your needs. Find your next car online at triumphautosales.com or stop in today at 4875 Elmore Road. Triumph Auto Sales will help you get the vehicle you want at the price you need and the service you deserve. For a great car and a great experience from a local and family-owned business, visit Triumph Auto Sales.
5-Ash Roofing, it's what we do. Roofing and siding, gutters too. We're the pros you can trust to get it done right. Call on us. 5-Ash Roofing, the name to know. 5-Ash Roofing, the only way to go. 5-Ash Roofing, it's what we do. 5-Ash Roofing.
Is that not the corniest thing you've ever heard? Can you believe I paid good money for that silly jingle? Well, the experts say make it memorable, and I think I got my money's worth. 5-Ash Roof Services, proud partner of the Memphis Tigers and the official roofer of the Tigers home team. 5-Ash Roofing, 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
5-Ash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
Hi, this is Lauren Choate with Choate's Air Conditioning, Heating, and Plumbing. Fall is in the air, and so are Choate's Early Bird Specials. Right now, receive $1,000 off the purchase of a new Carrier gas furnace. Carrier furnaces come with some of the best warranties in the industry, and Choate's has been professionally installing them for over 60 years. As a Carrier factory authorized dealer, Choate's also offers competitive financing solutions for you and your family. If your heating system is in good shape, make sure you take advantage of Choate's Early Bird Tune-Up Special for $60. This tune-up is an in-depth 20-point inspection to make sure your furnace is ready for the winter season ahead. So call 347-8086 to schedule your early bird special today. And turn to the experts with Choates and let our family serve your family.
We all appreciate luxury. We love the newest technology. We want something that sparkles and looks great. Well, I've got it all in one place. It's called Genesis of Olive Branch, right at the corner of Highway 78, that's Lamar, and the first exit in Mississippi, that's Craft Road. Turn left and you will see Genesis of Olive Branch. And right now, you can get the 2024 Genesis GV70 starting at $49,480 with special financing as low as 3.49% on select models. How about the 2024 Genesis GV80? A little bit bigger, starting at $55,995, financing as low as 5.49% with a $2,000 rebate when trading a luxury brand. Call them. They'll even bring you a Genesis at your work or your home for a test drive. They're convinced that when you drive a Genesis, you're going to want one. Call 662-890-6684. Ask for Vinny. Genesis of Olive Branch.
Now, back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. This hour is brought to you by Scooters Plus on Summer Avenue. Here once again is Johnny Radio.
Snap back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. Oh, there goes rabbit. He choke. He's so mad, but he won't give up. Daddies, he know he won't have it. He knows his whole back to these ropes. It don't matter. He's dope. He knows that, but he's broke. He's so stagnant. He knows when he goes back to this mobile home. That's when it's back.
Welcome
to
back to the Sports
again,
56 Happy Hour. I am your buddy Johnny Radio, hanging out with Bryant Dacus. It is a beautiful Monday in the Mid-South, especially because the Tigers basketball team beat the brakes off of Missouri. Tiger football team came back and beat Charlotte. And Tiger football looking pretty exciting because they got SMU at the house, 11 o'clock on Saturday. Big, big game, man. Speaking of big games, Tiger basketball, when they go to Atlantis, have you looked at looked at this bracket?
Mm-hmm.
My goodness, man. You open up, you got Michigan. You're probably going to play Arkansas, who's 14th in the country.
Got to beat Michigan, though.
Got to beat Michigan. Got to beat Michigan. Then they're going to beat Michigan, man. Did you see that team against Missouri, man?
Michigan might be one of the surprise teams of the season alongside Memphis.
Man, please, son, child, please. We're going to beat up on Michigan.
Big game tonight for Michigan.
Then we're going to beat up on Arkansas, and then we're going to play the winner of North Carolina Villanova. That's my prediction. And then we're going to beat them too. How you like that?
3-0 weekend. That'd be massive.
How you like that?
That'd be huge.
Now, Terry Davis, how is life, my friend?
Great.
All right, now I feel great because everybody. By the way, you gave me the Care Bear stare. Do you remember when it was July, and I was freaking out about this basketball team?
Yep.
Yeah, I was freaking out, man. I feel really, really good, and one reason is Javon Quinterly on that court is a leader. He's got handles that are out of control. He can shoot. He can do it all. And also, he's a smart player. When there was 2:30 left in the clock in the second half and he got trapped in the corner, he didn't hesitate. He knew how many timeouts he had. He called the timeout, didn't turn the ball over. Mad respect. Him as your general, this team seems like he can go pretty damn far, can't it?
Yes. Like in the preseason, David Jones was getting all the hype and everything. Quinterly was just doing his thing. Walton was doing his thing. But Quinterly just sitting there, just taking everything in and just seeing what needs to be done. He's a great floor general. I just wish he was a few inches taller so he can have a professional career after this. But other than that, the guy has good basketball IQ, and he can make big clutch shots and he can make big clutch decisions when he needs to.
Yeah, he's absolutely somebody that's special, and you need that floor general out there, especially when you got so many weapons, because that's something that this team actually does. Jaquan Walton, he's a walking bucket. My man's stroke, you can't block it. He can hit from three. He can get to the rack. Like, he's the best offensive scorer, I feel like, on the team.
Yes, he is, and he reminds me so much of Precious, the second half of Precious, before Precious, decided to be a dominant force for the Tigers. He reminds me of a older version of Precious because he can do it all, and he has confidence. He can play defense. He can hit the long shot. He can take it to the hoop. He can create. He can shoot off the dribble. He can do it all.
Yeah, he really can, and he's just something special. And again, when they go down and have an offensive possession where he doesn't touch the ball, it almost kind of frustrates me because like did this dude at least a look? Because if he's got just a little bit of a window, he's going to knock that bad boy down. And you talked about David Jones. David Jones, everybody was talking about him being special. He is special in a way. Like, he plays defense. He can shoot a three-pointer. He can get to the rack. Sometimes he tries to take over a little bit too much and doesn't get anybody else involved. Like, he'll get the ball and there'll be 15 seconds, and he'll hold the ball all the way down to where he's going to definitely take that damn shot. But I ain't going to complain about what he's doing, especially when he shoots threes.
Exactly. One thing about it, you got to take David with the good and the bad. He's like our version of Dylan Brooks, per se. He's going to take some bad shots. He's going to have some bad turnovers, but his good outweighs his bad by 2 to 1.
It's crazy how he's shooting better from the three-point line than he is his field goal percentage on the season. Like I'm saying, man, like when he's behind that, when he's sitting there towing that line, if you got Walton out there, if you got Quinterly, if you got my man Jones, they got some sharp shooters out there. And again, Hardaway's kid is supposedly a great shooter. It's just he's a freshman. He looks still a little bit lost out there.
No, he's just, it's just not his time because when they need him to make a big shot, he's going to make it. But when you got a good core 7, 8 guys out there, it's going to be winning by committee because those guys won that game that way. It's going to be another group of guys to win another group another way. It just depends on the matchup and how everything's rolling out there.
Man, well, Caleb Mills, by the way, we talked about him, or like big get, transfer portal. We saw him at Florida State, yada, yada. I didn't know he could play defense the way he did. I mean, he shut East down in the second half like nobody's business.
He is a defensive machine. He's alone. He has good IQ. He knows where the ball's going. He understands the game. He's almost like a coach on the floor because he generates offense from his defense because he just frustrates guys so much. And Missouri got so frustrated, man, they just throwing up bricks in the second half because they felt like they had to throw it up because if the shot wasn't getting blocked, they was getting harassed when they get the shot. So, and he's the leader of the defense because he's controlling it. Quinterly controls the offense, and Caleb Mills controls the defense.
All right, now our guard play, our forwards are awesome. What are you thinking about Jourdain, by the way? What do you think about Nick? They put him in the starting. He
does all the little things that won't show up in the scoreboard. He's going to play good, solid defense. He's going to make the good, solid pass. He's going to do the things that need to be done to get the dog. He's going to dive on the floor to get the loose ball. He's going to keep everything calm and fluid.
All right, now forwards, guards, we have a plethora of them. We got Malcolm Dandridge. We got Jordan Brown. A lot of people are extremely high on Jordan Brown. They look at how, he scores when he's in the paint. He'll grab some boards. I feel like when I watch Jordan Brown, I see somebody who's out of shape and doesn't hustle all the time. That drives me crazy. When he comes right into the game, he's effective for a good solid 2 minutes, and then he's winded. And again, there's a lot of times he just doesn't jump on the Brown. I know Malcolm's out there. He's working his tail off. We haven't seen him this healthy in a long time. He's playing. He's giving you great minutes, except for he still has that problem. Whenever he's guarding anybody, he can't help but touch them and put his hand on you and get called for a foul for reaching in.
That's his problem. He in this point in his career, he should know that he's more valuable on the court than on the bench with 3 or 4 fouls because he can be a force. And with Brown, I don't know if that's just Brown's disposition, but you look at the end of the day, what Brown does, he makes.
I jump off the couch and screaming what Brown can do for you, and I get all excited. And then there's other times where I'm like, get on the damn floor or turn around and run. And damn, man, you just ran down the court 3 times, and you were huffing and puffing like you look like you about to die.
Exactly, man. That's what's so frustrating about these young guys, man. We want them to do all this, but it's just not in them, man. But when we get to half-court game, when you go down to the block in the last couple of minutes, and he's setting up on the block, who's going to stop him? Because there's not too many big men in college these days.
That's true. That is true. Man, I have to say, I love this team. I'm looking forward. They don't play till Friday. What do they play? Like Jackson, who do they play on Friday?
Alabama State.
Alabama. That's right.
Alabama State.
That's right. Again, I'm so excited. Any concerns Friday before they go to Atlantis?
Now, you just want to make sure that those guys are healthy because you want them next Wednesday when they play Michigan to be 100%. You want to make sure Cornelius' hamstring is good. You want to make sure that Caleb Mills is healthy. If Memphis is healthy, the worst-case scenario is 2-1. Worst-case scenario. Because it's tough playing 3 games in 3 days.
I feel you there. And man, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough for Jordan Brown and his dead gum conditioning. I can tell you that much.
I tell you what, if Memphis come back with 2-1, they should reach the top 25.
All right. So you don't think there's any chance that they crack the top 25 today? Is it today?
Of course, man. It's Memphis, man. No, it's Memphis. No.
Man, that was an impressive win. They look really good. All right, I got to switch gears a little bit. I got to talk about the Grizzlies for a second. Did they beat the Clippers because my kinfolk, it is over for him? James Harden, stick a fork in it, you're done? Or, I don't even know what to say about the Grizzlies, really. They're 2-8.
They're 2-8, but it was more of the Clippers got too many options on offense because Memphis defense played the best defensive game they played all year. Because when you got Paul George, you got Kawhi Leonard, you got Russell Westbrook, you got James Harden, all those guys, and Ty Lue trying to mix that together, chemistry is a really big thing in the NBA. And that's one thing Memphis is learning about because, I know a lot of people don't want to hear this because Memphis defense is worse because of one subtraction from the roster. And we all know who that person they subtracted from the roster. And that's why their defense is not as great. And I don't know, even though Marcus Smart got a Defensive Player of the Year, he's not better team defensively than Dylan Brooks was.
If the Steven Adams was healthy, though, and you had Marcus Smart and you had Ja, who wasn't in trouble with Bane, do you feel like the Smart addition end up in the long run going to be a better addition than having Brooks?
I don't know because Steven Adams don't guard the perimeter. And that's one of Memphis' biggest weaknesses, the perimeter shooting, that 3-and-D guy. That guy who can, control the ball. One thing that Brooks did, he broke up those passing lanes so the guy couldn't get the ball out to the 3-and-D guy. And, Marcus is a great on-ball defender, but that perimeter, and that's Memphis' biggest thing because Utah Jazz is not a great three-point team. But they was great against Memphis. And all these teams, they have a career day against Memphis. Because
most teams are having career days from the three-point line, except for, again, my kinfolk who was 1 for 7 and kept chunking them up.
Exactly. So if the key to beating Memphis, I don't know if I'm saying this, is to shoot the 3-ball and make it because they're not good defensively on the 3-point line. So, and the big part of that is Marcus Smart is a great on-ball defender, but he doesn't disrupt the 3-ball defense, and they have got to find a way to do that. And in 15 games, because we got 10 games in, in 15 games, somebody on the Grizzlies roster is going to be getting a pink slip, and I don't think it's going to be Bismarck.
Whoa. Terry D. I like that. Thank you for bringing that. I didn't realize that. Now, other thing I got to bring up real quick, Lakers, they play on tomorrow night, right? Tomorrow night. So Lakers are your favorite team. Who are you going for?
I'm a hometown guy, man. I cover the Grizz. I'm going to root for the Grizz. But, I don't cheer that. That's the one game I don't cheer for. I want Memphis to win, but I'm not going to cheer against them or, cheer against the Lakers. Cheer against the Lakers, but I want Memphis to win.
I know
because I want Memphis. The Grizzlies need to get to 500. If they can get to 500 and Ja comes back, I'm not saying everything's going to be good, but, they'll be in a better place.
Man, TD, you are the absolute best. Tell everybody what you got coming down the pipe and where they can find you.
Big preview for the Memphis SMU game and get the primer ready for Memphis Bahamas trip. So hopefully, that's coming up on Traffic Defender, and just follow me on Twitter.
Man,
talk to you later, Jay.
Hey, big easy, Terry D. Follow him on Twitter at TerryD515. That is my man, Terry Davis. I'll tell you one thing. Terry always looks good when I see him out. See him at Brookhaven a lot. He loves the Haven. Penny does his show up there. He likes to go up there. But he's always looking smooth because he goes to 5880 Goodman Road down in Olive Branch, the Frontier Western store. That's right, style and profile down there. They got the largest boot showroom. They got Western boots, work boots, dress boots, you name it, they got it. Plus, they have regular shoes. They got Hey Dude shoes. They've got hats. They can cover you from head to toe. And they got the jeans. They got the fall fashions. They got the ladies covered over at the ladies' boutique, the children's department, in the men's section. Whatever you do, make sure if you want to look good, go to Frontier Western Store. If you can't make it to Olive Branch, don't worry. We got you covered. Just go to frontierwesternstore.com. Shop. Order, bing, bang, boom, shipped without in 24 hours. And any order of $75 is shipped absolutely free. Frontier Western Store, frontierwesternstore.com. Back in two shakes. Dang, I can't speak right now. Hopefully in the second hour I'll do better because we got to talk NFL. Plus I got some hardwood because it feels so good. Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
You shout and no one seems to hear.
Bartlett Small Engine has been serving quality power equipment since 1970. They have a full line of power equipment, parts, and services for most makes and models. Bartlett Small Engines has the best brands in the power tool industry, and they're all American made. Bartlett Small Engine is your can-do store. 6780 Summer Avenue. Call 901-386-9779.
Bartlett Small Engine has free pickup and delivery both at your home and curbside for lawnmowers, blowers, edgers, and any small engine. Call 901-386-9779.
Hi, folks. Bob Burkheimer, the Chevy Sheriff for Sunrise Chevy. The Sunrise Chevy Ranch has over 500 new vehicles available with interest low as 0% and rebates up to $4,000. A $10 million used car inventory specializing in late model GM certified and cars and trucks under $10,000. Bad credit, bankrupt, slow pay, it's okay. Sunrise gets you financed when no one else can. Check out the inventory and apply online at sunrisememphis.com or call us on the phone. Come in and see us, go online or call. Any way you do it, we'll save you money at the Sunrise Chevy Ranch, partner. 385 South Houston Levy in Collierville.
Welcome to the Rendezvous. This is John Burgess. When my dad started the Rendezvous in 1948, I don't think anyone could have imagined we'd still be serving shoulder, cheese plates, and our world-famous dry rub ribs 75 years later. But we are still here in the basement, in an alley in downtown Memphis. We sincerely thank you for making the Rendezvous what it is today. Charlie Burgess Rendezvous. A legendary experience for over 75 years, whether you dine in, pick up, or ship across the country.
Old school jewelry stores here in Memphis don't like what Genesis Diamonds is doing, but regular folks here are asking what took Genesis so long to get here. Hey, it's Eric Hasseltine, and Genesis Diamonds is a game changer. More selection, higher quality, extreme value prices like you never knew existed, top designers, non-commission experts, and ironclad warranties. Genesis is the official jeweler of the Tennessee Titans. The owners are Tennesseans. They've dominated the jewelry scene in Nashville for nearly 20 years. Their store here at Poplar and Perkins Extended will blow your mind. Diamond rings, earrings, pendants, bracelets, thousands of engagement rings, colored gemstone jewelry. It's a jewelry superstore with no pressure, no games, and no phony pricing. Also, you've got to see their amazing selection of luxury pre-owned Rolex watches. Pristine watches in pristine condition, value priced. They have all the hard-to-find models in stock. So what are you waiting for? Hit up Genesis Diamonds in Poplar Commons at Poplar and Perkins Extended. You are going to thank me for this.
Happy 62nd birthday, Granddad.
Thanks, sweetheart.
I got you this.
A mug. What does it say? Beware. If you are 60 or older, you may be at increased risk of serious consequences from RSV, respiratory syncytial virus, compared to adults younger than 60.
Not all dangers come with warning labels. Talk to your pharmacist or doctor about getting vaccinated against RSV today. RSV vaccines, including Pfizer's, are available. Learn more at bewareofrsv.com. Brought to you by Pfizer.
All 36-month lease, 650 acquisition fee must finance through Hyundai. Forte LXS PE 694,095, MSRP 21,610. Sportage R722, 7239, MSRP 28,715. EVP 560, 3393, MSRP 50,200. Includes all rebates and incentives. Excludes tax title and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 11/30/2023 with approved credit dealer stock only.
Got Jeff Allen here from Gossett Kia, South Mount Moriah. Hey, Jeff, you ready for the holidays with the season of giving back?
I'm ready to give out some great holiday gifts and save you some big bucks. Perfect for the holiday road trips. 41 MPG Highway in a new 2023 Kia Forte LXS, $229 a month. $27.99 due at signing. Or a big family that needs more room? 2024 Kia Sportage LX with class-leading cargo room and rear seat leg room, $299 a month. $34.99 due at signing.
What about an EV?
2023 Kia EV6 Wind, 134 City, 101 Highway, MPGE, $379 a month. $49.99 due at signing. All 36-month lease.
Plus a free charger with your EV purchase and Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty.
The way they live in Horn Lake, South Haven, Olive Branch, or Memphis, you'll be happy at Gossett Kia on Mount Moriah.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations.
That's one of those things. When things get too heavy, just call me helium.
Now, back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy, Johnny Radio. Hanging out with Brian Davis. Big thanks, man. Terry Davis, Jake Crane, we talked to in the first hour. Now the second hour is going to be wide open. We're going to talk a little bit of college football. Of course, there's some college news out there. I'm sure you've heard. Jimbo Fisher was fired. That all came barreling out pretty fast. But Mississippi State fired Zach Arnett. And I'm curious, if you're their athletic director at Mississippi State, like, who the hell do you fire? Like, is Lance Leopold going to take that job? I don't think so. I mean, I really just, I don't know. It seems like it's going to be a tough fill for Mississippi State. It's going to definitely be a tough fill for Mississippi State. Man, Georgia routed Ole Miss 52-17. Little update on Jackson Dart, who got knocked out of the game. Did you know that Lane Kiffin said that he could have gone back in the game, but they chose not to? No, he could not have gone back in that game. He looked like he was dead. Like, dude, you got sandwiched by like 330 pounds and 250.
Yeah.
Man, they weren't going to put him. They weren't going to put him back in the game. They did say though. He should be fine. He does feel better, and he should be ready to go next week. So, Jackson Dart. Now, we do have to get into a little NFL talk, and we get to the NFL. Go ahead.
I've got some breaking news.
Uh-oh, is it good?
Tigers not in the top 25 poll.
No way. Did it really just release?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now, John.
How many votes they get?
53. They'd be ranked number 26 if we extended the poll.
Well, you know what that means?
That means they went on Friday, and they'll be in the top 25 next week. Maybe.
They win against Michigan. They do a good showing in Atlantis. I promise they will.
Here's a hot take for you. Memphis does not cover Friday night against Alabama State.
Okay, what's the line, though? 20?
It's not out yet. I mean,
okay,
I'm just saying, whatever it is.
They didn't cover against Jackson State this year. The line was 21.5, I think.
Yeah, it was.
And they won by, 14?
This Alabama State team is kind of fun to watch.
You've seen them play?
Oh,
They played Ole Miss.
And then they played...
They played Ole Miss into a very good game, first game of the year.
Somebody pretty good in their second game. I don't remember who. Some Big Ten team, I think. And they only lost by, the spread was Iowa. And they only lost by, I think it was 31.5, and they lost by 31. Covered.
So they're a bunch of covering machines right now.
2-0 against the spread, John.
0-2 in real life, but 2-0 against the spread.
That's all that matters.
It's all that really matters for your fan base, unless you're,
Unless you're trying to make the top 25 like Tigers.
Yeah, like Tigers. So Tigers are going to take care of business. Now we got to get to a little bit of NFL talk. We get to the NFL by the wonderful people that make the weekend perfect. And that's the people over at Tito's. Tito Beverage came up with this recipe. He taste tested, shared with a few friends, then taste tested again until he came up with the best juice around. No frills, no flavors, no fancy labels. Tito's, it's just the good stuff. It's crafted and distilled right here in the United States down in Austin, Texas. It's 6 times distilled and distilled in classic copper pots. Gives it a very unique flavor, slightly sweet with the black pepper note. It balances everything out. Doesn't matter if you're crafting a cocktail or drinking it neat. Get your Tito's on today. And remember, it's also 100% gluten-free. Yeah, that's right. Don't get your gluten from your Tito's, man. Or don't be drinking your gluten. Get enough gluten when you eat bread, I think. I don't really know much about gluten. I just know I don't want it in my vodka. It's 100% corn. And I know that Tito's is the best. 3-time winner of the vodka tonic. Now, it's time to talk a little NFL football yesterday. And I have to just start with last night, with what we saw last night. Holy cow. Do you know that the Jets have been in 2 primetime games this week? Did you know that?
Yep.
The last week, I mean.
Yep.
Do you know how many drives without a touchdown they've had in the last 2 games that were on primetime TV?
I'm going to guess a lot, John.
36 consecutive offensive drives without a touchdown. Bruh, that is ridiculous. Now, I had the under, so I was loving last night. I was rooting for punters and defense. It was great. Field goal kickers, yeah. But damn, dude, you honestly, I hate to say this, you can't really blame all that game on Zach Wilson. Did he throw the big interception at the end of the game when they were right down there knocking on the door trying to steal that junt? He did. But throughout the game, how many penalties did they have? That offensive line is absolutely terrible. There were some big drops as well. And that vaunted defense, well, they gave up that fourth quarter, that touchdown. And you got to give it to Jacobs. He was the heart and soul of the Raiders. Josh Jacobs was running down their throat. He wasn't fearful. He was running. And there was one play when he was going for a first down. They had like 4 dudes on him. Dude was wrapped around his ankles. And he pushed on for 4 yards and got the first down. Josh Jacobs, he was masterful. But the reason I bring up Zach Wilson in all this is basically to say the quarterback situation. We put everything on the quarterback, do we not?
Everything.
We put everything on the quarterback. And we constantly talk about it. We tell coaches how great they are. But the most important thing for a coach and a general manager, you have to be able to evaluate talent and then develop it. You become a great coach if you evaluate talent, you get the right guy into your system, and you develop the hell out of him. Look at Andy Reid. You know what? He got Donovan McNabb, evaluated. He was great, came out of Syracuse. He developed him, and he was great with the Eagles. They couldn't win the Super Bowl, but they sure got to a few of them. They were at the NFC Championship game year in and year out. They made it to Super Bowls. Donovan McNabb was a bad mamma jamma. Then he goes to Kansas City. Who do they evaluate? They draft, 11th? What was Pat Mahomes? 11th to 14th in that area?
In that area. Let's see.
And he turned Pat Mahomes, didn't start him the whole year until the last game, sat him behind Alex Smith, comes over, he takes over the world. Now he's got Super Bowl titles.
10th, John.
10th. Oh, man, I was behind him. I wasn't saying 11th through 14th.
10th. Yeah, same range.
Yeah, a little. I didn't give him the credit he deserved. Top 10. But man, Andy Reid knows how to evaluate talent and develop it, and that's one of the keys. You look around the league. That is like the most important part of this job is to be able to do that. Andy Reid does it. Now look at Bill Belichick. They call him the GOAT, correct?
They do.
Do you know what Bill Belichick's record was before in Cleveland? Did you know that he even coached in Cleveland?
I did, but I don't know the record.
Well, it wasn't very good. He coached 5 seasons between 1991 and 1995. He had good quarterbacks. He had Bernie Kosar at the end. He had old Jeff Hostetler, and then he had Vinny Testaverde, still young Vinny Testaverde at the end. In that span, they did not have one winning season except for they did in 1994. They went 11-5, and then they get into the playoff game and lose. So Belichick gets fired, goes and spends 5 years as a defensive coordinator, gets his second chance with New England, who had Drew Bledsoe, and then got super lucky with Tom Brady, and we didn't even realize how great he was. Now, Bill Belichick, did he bring in some nasty defenses? Was he a great in-game manager and a coach? Hell yes. Did he evaluate and develop Tom Brady? He helped. Damn straight he did. But he's still like the defensive guy. He didn't necessarily evaluate Tom Brady and bring him in to replace Drew Bledsoe. If Mo Lewis doesn't crack Drew Bledsoe's chest and his sternum on a hit when Drew Bledsoe's running down the sidelines, do we know that Tom Brady does he ever become Tom Brady?
It's a really good question, John.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, he was a late draft pick. He couldn't even start it in Michigan. They kept trying to give the job to Drew Henson. Now, he ended up starting at the end of the year, but they kept trying to go to anybody but Tom Brady. Tom Brady, we know 7 Super Bowls, super stud, yada, yada, yada. Tom Brady's great. But, man, did you watch that early game? No. Again, you have to be able to Evaluate the talent, bring it in, and develop it. And Mac Jones and the New England Patriots, that's embarrassing. I talked about how bad the Jets' offense was. I'd take Zach Wilson over Mac Jones right now.
Yeah, I would too.
Are you kidding me? I can't believe I'm saying this, but yeah, I would take him over Mac Jones. The Patriots were so bad yesterday.
It looked like it was an ugly game. Was it as ugly as it looked?
It was uglier
on paper.
It was uglier. The interception that Mac Jones threw over in the end zone where he was on his back foot was underthrown by 7 yards right to the defensive player. My man's wide open. Mac Jones, they had such little confidence in Mac Jones. On the last drive of the game, they replaced him with Bailey Zappi. Yeah, you heard me.
Seen that movie before.
Bailey Zappi.
Like 3 times last year.
But, man, I'm wondering now, because, again, Andy Reid, we talk about quarterbacks, and, again, look at what he did with Donovan McNabb. Look what he's done with Patrick Mahomes. He's taken quarterbacks and he's developed them. Bill won because he got luckier than Cooter Brown and had a greatest run in the history with the Tom Brady, who landed in his lap, took less money. He developed the defense, and Tom Brady just went out there and dunked him to death. Is Bill as great a coach as everybody says he is? Since Tom Brady's left, it's been ugly. The crazy thing is the first year Mac Jones was there, he was actually pretty decent. In fact, Mac Jones, when he first got to college, I was looking at it this morning. I wish I had it on me. It was something, I think he was like 10-7 in his rookie years or something. No, I don't know. Yeah, 10-7 maybe. Like, he was good. And since then, absolutely an abject failure. They're 2-8 this season. He's 10-17 the last 2 seasons. That is not getting it done. I know that he's missed on a ton of wide receivers. This New England Patriots team's just terrible. And again, Bill Belichick, they call him the GOAT. Is he really? I don't know, man. I mean, again, Jimbo Fisher has a national championship. I mean, he did it with Jameis Winston. He was awesome.
He did.
He had a ton of respect.
The quarterback whisperer.
People said that back in the day. And again, I got to give Jimbo credit back when he was young. When he first started out, he did a lot of great things. I mean, bro, he got Jamarcus Russell, who was a super stud. I'm not going to sit there and act like, with what he did with him in LSU. Jamarcus Russell in college, if he wasn't sipping on that lean, he would have been a good NFL quarterback.
Right.
But he got Christian Ponder to play above his, better than he was. E.J. Manuel, he got a national championship with Jameis Winston. It's when he left. And basically, this is also the reason he left, because he didn't get anybody to replace Jameis Winston. And you remember Willie Taggart, when he took over at Florida State, he couldn't even get anybody. He didn't sign a high school quarterback the 2 seasons he was there.
Yeah.
Look at Mike Norvell. Why has Mike Norvell been so successful? Because he took Jordan Travis when nobody wanted him. He left Louisville.
Yep.
And him and Kenny Dillingham, Mike Norvell, Kenny Dillingham, have developed Jordan Travis into one of the greatest quarterbacks in Florida State history. Most rushing yards for a quarterback. Man's throwing all over the yards. Now, they got weapons out the wazoo. Johnny Wilson, Keon Coleman, my man Bell. They got weapons galore, but Mike Norvell developed a quarterback. And then talking about quarterbacks, Frank Wright, when everybody was talking about the first and second pick in the NFL draft, Frank Wright, man, quarterback whisperer. He's going to do great things with whatever quarterback. Houston, on the other hand, I don't know if you know this, but Houston is just a terrible football team. Did you by any chance see what their record was the previous 3 seasons?
Yep, sure did. 11, hold up, I just saw it. 11, 38, and 1.
11, 38, and 1. Holy cow. That's just
bad.
That's what they are now. Do you know what they are?
What, 5 and 4?
Yes. They just beat the dead gum Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah, it was wild.
I mean, yeah, you hear this right. 5 and 4. C.J. Stroud is tearing things up. And the thing is, DeMarco Murray, defensive coach. Frank Wright,
yep,
the offensive guy. But again, evaluate and develop quarterbacks is the key here. And if your evaluation in Carolina was to take a undersized guy, 5'10", 180 pounds, you basically took Doug Flutie without the athleticism. Doug Flutie had to go to the Canadian Football League and was not drafted, but you took a 5'10", 180-pound man with the number 1 overall pick in the NFL draft. When you had a full-grown man behind him in C.J. Stroud. Remember, I don't know if you remember this, me and Gabe got in one of the biggest arguments, and I'm like, I take C.J. Stroud all day, every day over Bryce Young. I'm not taking a number 1 pick on a guy that small. If he is special, even like Kyler Murray, who has game speed, he's a video game speed. I don't want a guy that small who can't take. Availability is very important in the National Football League. 17 games, you get killed. Bryce Young is too small. So again, evaluate and develop quarterback. You evaluated bad, you're not going to be able to develop Bryce Young. C.J. Stroud, the Texans evaluated right, and they've developed the hell out this young fella. And he's tearing things up. So basically, coaching is all about finding a guy who can go out there and evaluate and develop quarterbacks. That's what Ross Bjork, the AD for Texas A&M's, got to find a coach who can go out there and evaluate quarterbacks, bring them into that campus, and develop the hell out of them. Mississippi State fired Zach Barnett. They got to go find a coach who can go get a quarterback, bring him in there, and develop his ass. Look at Bo Nix in Oregon. Look at Carson Beck at Georgia. Look at Jalen Milroe now at Alabama, how far he's come since the first game of the year. Till now, he's not a liability. He's a dead-gum weapon out there. They figured out how to use him. Get the talent in there, develop it, you'll keep your job. Just kind of a little sidebar thing I was thinking about when it came to the quarterbacks. But again, back to the games. You know what we got tonight? We got the Denver Broncos and the Buffalo Bills. We have Josh Allen, who's a turnover machine. 9 picks this year. You got a Bills offense that basically goes out there and runs same dead gum. 80% of the time they run just splits, both sides, no motion, single back.
Sounds
Josh
right.
Allen in the shotgun.
Yep.
Broncos, though, they started off the season really, really bad. Kind of picked it up a little bit late. They beat the Packers, who aren't that great. But do you remember the last game they played?
I don't.
They beat the Kansas City Chiefs.
That's right.
Now, that was when Taylor Swift was not at that game.
Good point.
And remember, Mahomes was sick. He was battling the flu.
Yeah.
But still, they beat the Chiefs 24-9. That great Chiefs defense gave up 24 points to the Broncos. Buffalo Bills defense ain't nearly as good as the Chiefs defense has been. Is 7.5 too much? Jake Crane said, buy that junt down, get it to 6.5. He loves Buffalo laying the touchdown. Man, I don't know about this game. But I will make sure I give you my final opinion in the very last segment of the day. On the other side, however, it's time to talk, hardwood, because it feels so good. We got nothing but a bunch of funny things to get to. Don't you dare touch the dial. Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Be sure to follow us at Sports 56 WHBQ on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube to watch live video of our shows, stay up to date with station events, and have chances to win prizes. Don't miss out on anything that's going on. Follow us at Sports 56 WHBQ.
Whether it's date night, a birthday, or just because, raise a steak in celebration at Ruth's Chris. Open in the Regalia Shopping Center at the corner of Poplar and Ridgeway. Treat yourself to one of our classic USDA prime beef steaks, seasoned and broiled to perfection. Then serve sizzling hot on one of Ruth's signature 500-degree plates. Visit Ruth'sChris.com to make a reservation. Ruth's Chris Steakhouse, Memphis. This is how celebrating more is done.
East Memphis Ace Hardware is more than just a hardware store. It's really a customer service store. With 20 employees along with complete inventory of items, big to little, finding what you need is easy. Choosing from a complete selection of Big Green Egg as well as Traeger and Weber grills. And the Garden Center has everything for your yard. You can get glass cut, repair screens, even new keys with key fob programming. Tools, nuts, bolts, screws, you need it. East Memphis Ace Hardware has it. And they're just down the street at the corner of Quince and White Station.
Year end means huge Huge savings at Gossett Kia on the Pike with the season of giving back. How about 41 MPG for those holiday road trips? 2023 Kia Forte LXS, $229 a month, $27.99 due at signing. Family road trip, 2024 Kia Sportage LX with class-leading cargo room and rear seat legroom, $299 a month, $34.99 due at signing. And get where you're going for less than a 2023 Kia EV6 Wind, 134 City, 101 Highway MPGE, $379 a month, $49.99 due at signing, all 36-month lease. Plus a free charger with your EV purchase and Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Ask for Bobby J. He's ready to put you in a new Kia today. Gossett Kia, 1900 Covington Pike, or online, KiaCovingtonPike.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 36-month lease, $650 acquisition fee. Must finance through Hyundai, Forte LXS, PE 694,095, MSRP 21,610, Sportage R722, 7239, MSRP 28,715, EVP 560, 3393, MSRP 50,200. Includes all rebates and incentives. Excludes tax title and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 11/30/2023 with approved credit. Dealer stock only.
Hewlett & Dunn Boot and Clothing Company, we have it all. From handmade Amish leather belts, fine and casual clothing, boots, casual boots, work boots, fancy boots, and even safety-toed boots. Lots of cowboy hats to choose from, even Nebo lights, good-looking duck head dress shirts, duck head caps, shorts, and pants. Tons of jeans from Ariat, Wrangler, Devil Dog, and Kimes Ranch jeans. At Hewlett & Dunn, we have a great selection of Old South t-shirts and caps, fine clothing from dress to casual to Sunday best. Enjoy choosing from UFO's orthopedic-approved shoes. Hewlett & Dunn Boot and Clothing Company. Boots of every size, every color, every skin. Great quality Western, work, and safety toe boots. Hewlett & Dunn Boots and Clothing Company. 111 North Center Street, Collierville. Hewlett & Dunn. Hewlett & Dunn, serving you and your family since 1961.
At Jason's Deli, when you're dining in or picking up curbside, you can expect wholesome food and no surprises, just delicious sandwiches, crisp salads, and quick quality meals made with the freshest ingredients and no artificial trans fats, MSG, high fructose corn syrup, or artificial colors and dyes. Around here, a lot of thought goes into what we put into our food and what we take out of it, because you're not just taking a bite, you're getting a taste of who we are. New items are constantly being created to expand our menu for all tastes and special diets with vegan and gluten-free options available. Convenience and on-time delivery you can count on. It's just a click away at jasonsdeli.com, so whether you need to feed 5 people or 5,000, the team at Jason's Deli, they have the credentials and the commitment to keep you satisfied. Freshness is nearby at Jason's Deli with locations at Ridgeway in the Park Place Center, Poplar and Highland, Germantown Road in Cordova, and on Goodman Road in Olive Branch. Jason's Deli. It's wholesome food and no surprises.
4.9 liter V8, 0 to 60, and I'm about to find out.
Now, back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. Brian Dake is hanging out with me, and we are busy because, man, it's been a wild week in college football. It was a wild weekend in college football. Poor Ole Miss, they got beat up by Georgia 52-17. Tennessee got slapped around by Missouri. Josh Heupel has an issue going on the road. Michigan, James Franklin's now 3-17 versus top 10 teams. Michigan only threw 8 passes, and at one point they ran the ball 32 straight times. Mississippi State's fired Zach Arnett. Texas A&M has fired Jimbo Fisher. So a lot of news going around. Plus, we have NFL action tonight. NBA's full swing. Tiger basketball's amazing. Everything just is kind of right in the world. Makes me think to myself, I can make it a perfect day by going and getting a little Central Barbecue. Yeah, that's right. Central Barbecue for lunch, where smoke is their sauce. That's some perfections. Their ribs are out of control. Their pork sandwich, their pulled chicken, their smoked turkey, their barbecue nachos. My goodness, their smoked wings. I like the dry spice and the sweet heat, the sausage cheese plate. Damn it, I'm hungry. Well, all you have to do is go to Central Barbecue. Good for you. They have 5 great locations. They got you downtown. They got you on Central. They got you over there on Summer, out here in Poplar, and now in South Haven. Central Barbecue, where smoke is their sauce. Go to eatcbq.com. You can have some events catered, or you can ship that barbecue anywhere in the world. Central Barbecue, man. Let's go to Hardwood.
This is Access Hardwood.
Yummy, yummy, yummy. Now, speaking of Central Barbecue straight up fire. Do you know what kind of food they eat in Argentina?
I have no idea, John.
I don't either, man. I don't know if I've ever been to an Argentinian restaurant.
Well said.
Thank you. I tried. But you know who has been? Travis Kelce.
That's right. He was in Argentina this weekend with his boo thing.
Yeah, dude. She put on a great concert. She did awesome. Now, my question is, for all those little young fellas out there thirst trapping, for them a little TT swizzle, a little Tay Taylor Swift. What do you think they enjoy the fact when her concert's over that she's making out with her boyfriend Travis Kelce?
Probably not. How many guys are thirst trapping over Taylor Swift?
I mean, there's a lot of guys out there who find 6 is fascinating. I mean, she's a solid 6. I'll give her that.
Huh. I've just never seen like a guy be like, "Oh man, I love Taylor Swift." It's always like,
well, Travis Kelce
girls that are like, "Oh man, Taylor Swift is the stuff."
Travis Kelce is, because my man literally flew to Argentina, went to her concert. I mean, Travis Kelce's out there just doing his best life, ain't he?
Sure is.
I'm impressed.
Good for him. Something about Taylor Swift music must be addicting. My girlfriend never listened to Taylor Swift. She gave her a try like a couple months ago, and now it's like all she listens to.
Oh, she loves Tay Swift.
I wouldn't say she loves her, but she likes a lot of her music.
Well, he's got a little extra time. You know, they had a bye this weekend, so that's why he's out of town with Tay. But you know, on Monday night, do you know next Monday night? This Monday night game doesn't feel very good. Broncos, Bills. Next Monday night, it's Eagles, Chiefs. Is Tay at the game? I don't know, man.
Say yeah, why not?
Why not? I mean, they're just private jetting it all over the place. Do you think he paid for the private jet to fly to Argentina, or did she send it for him?
Probably she did.
You think so?
Yeah, probably.
Damn, life's got to be good. Yo, man, my girl done sent her private jet to pick me up, man. You know what I'm saying? Life must be good. Aaron Rodgers annoys the hell out of me. You know that, right?
Yes.
A lot of people think I would love him. I mean, he does ayahuasca, likes mushrooms, good quarterback. But for some reason, he just kind of, he just annoys me. The whole Pat McAfee thing, then finding out he was paid. He's just, I don't know. He's kind of smug. You know how he was going out before every football game and making sure everybody saw him on TV. You saw him last Monday night when the Jets were playing, and he's spinning the ball and talking all kinds of trash. Mm-hmm. Well, he didn't go out there on the field today. Said he wasn't feeling it. No, I'm sure he felt all the criticism and all the BS that was coming out. But did you see, though, he did make a prediction that he will be back in mid-December. Did you hear that when he was talking to Melissa Stark?
I saw the reports. I didn't hear him actually say it, but I saw everyone tweeting about it. John, I think he's faking it.
So you think he's just lying?
I mean, maybe injured something. Maybe hurt his Achilles a little bit. I think he's lying. He didn't tear it.
He must not. If he comes back in December, I know he didn't. He said that right now he's working out on a weight-limited treadmill at 50% of his body weight and plans to bump it up to 75% this week. Again, hopes that he can play in December. No way, dude. Behind that offensive line, you want to come back at your age? Behind that offensive line? If you say you actually had a ruptured Achilles, man, I don't think so, homie. But the thing is again, back to the conspiracy theory. Remember when I said last week and I brought you into the conspiracy theory that he never really ruptured it, that his doctors are in on the gig?
So I'm telling you.
Well, do you know where he was after the game last night?
With his doctors.
Nope. He was at a very prominent bourbon and cigar lounge in Vegas.
So he's drunk when he's saying all this stuff.
He was drinking Blanton's Gold Edition Kentucky bourbon, and he smoked a My Father the Judge cigar. And the thing is he hung out.
Sorry, is that a brand?
That's a brand. My Father the Judge is the cigar that he smoked.
A little wordy. We need to.
It's very wordy.
Concise it a little.
My Father the Judge.
Give me one of those. Yeah, my father's a judge. There you go. Yeah, that one.
And by the way, the Blanton's Gold is 103 proof, by the way.
Wow.
It's a single barrel bourbon whiskey. It's highly regarded. And it's not cheap because a bottle is about $300 at the liquor store. So how much do you think they sell it by the shot in a dead gum bar in Vegas?
I can tell you.
Well, he's got plenty of money, but he's smoking a cigar. He's drinking, but he was by himself. Like, he had no entourage, he had no person, and nobody was bothering him. He was just chilling at the 8 Club, and, like, a bunch of people took pictures and posted of it, and he's just kind of said, man, why wouldn't you walk over and be like, yo, what up, A-Raj? I got some mushrooms. You want to eat these bad boys with me? Or, hey, yo, A-Rod, you got some of that smoke?
Huh.
A-Ron. I mean, I'd have been hitting him up, but he was just sitting there chilling. Probably couldn't have gotten to a place like that. Probably too expensive. Oh, well, I told you, did I tell you that Tyrese Maxey last week, how the 76ers are better with Tyrese Maxey than James Harden? Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I was right. Did you know he had a 50-point game the other night?
Good for him. I like him. I like him a lot.
I like him a lot, too. But he also brought a story to me that I didn't realize at the time. He dedicated it, the 50-point game, to Kelly Oubre.
Yeah, poor Kelly Oubre.
Did you hear about Kelly Oubre?
Yeah.
Bro, have you not, when you were a kid, when you cross the street, you look to the left, you look to the right? You have to check both sides. Do they not teach you that anymore?
I mean, it very well might not have been his fault. You never know. I mean,
well, I know one thing. He got hit by a car, and I don't know, man. I don't know, man.
I know for sure I know 2 people that have been hit by a car, and neither one was their fault.
Because they didn't look to the left and to the right. You got to look both sides before crossing the street, bro.
No.
It's a fact.
Yeah, but it's not always their fault. If they're walking across the street and it says, like, you can walk across the street and someone's, like, on their phone and doesn't see
that's
it
why you look
and
left
hits
or
them.
right. If it just says the little walking symbol and it flashes green, it don't mean that somebody's going to stop. You might want to look to the left and look to the right and be like, okay, I got the right of way, but my right to, like, life is look to the left and look to the right.
And then, like, if you're somewhere and you are in the street because somebody tried to rob you and someone flies around the corner doing like 75 and a 30 and then hits you and then you're in a coma for 10 days.
That's a rough day.
That I don't think that's your fault. I mean, that sounds a lot of other people's faults.
Okay. Majority of the time.
That's 2 true stories that happen to people I know.
Okay, well, you know the very rare. I'm just saying, most people, though, if they're, like, getting hit by cars in the street, like, do me a favor, look left, look right. But Kelly Oubre he's in a hospital. He got banged up pretty bad, bro.
Yeah, I hope it didn't mess with his face, because he's beautiful.
He's got broken ribs. He's got bruises and abrasions all over him.
What about his face, John? Is there anything wrong with his face?
Man, no, I didn't see anything about his face being busted up.
Because Kelly Oubre is beautiful. Have you ever seen Kelly Oubre?
Of course I've seen him,
man.
but I don't know if you know this. I look at Paige Springnack and, the Cavender twins. Do you know who they are?
Yes.
They're somebody that I would probably check out more than Kelly Oubre.
Huh.
Did you hear about the unretirement of Haley Cavender?
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
She's taking her talents to TCU, unretiring to play a little basketball. Bro, when you make $1 million to play hoops in NIL, I would call that unretiring. Yes, she's just going back to school to play college ball, but remember, the Cavender twins were the highest NIL under Livy Dunn when they left. Got to make that money, man.
John, did you watch any Iowa football?
Are you
this
a
weekend?
Hannah or a Haley guy? Which one do you find more attractive?
Neither.
It's all for me about the personality.
Is it?
Yeah.
Doesn't sound like. Who has the better personality?
I don't know which one yet,
Huh.
but that's how I would
So which one do you
decide.
like better?
I don't know yet. I have to get to know
Oh,
them, and then I would tell you which
Okay.
one's better.
So you don't
because
have a favorite right
they're
now?
identical. You know what? I got a joke for you. I think I can tell this one on the radio.
I'm very concerned.
All right. I shouldn't probably do this, but I'll do it. So there's this very, very wealthy man, and he's dating these 3 very attractive girls, okay? And he goes up to them, and he wants to get married. He's ready to settle down, and he just doesn't know which one to marry. So he goes to the first one, and he gives her $5,000. He gives all 3 of them $5,000. And then he comes and talks to him like a week later and says to the first one, what'd you do with your $5,000? And she's like, oh, baby, I went and got a spa treatment. I got a little work done on my face, got some Botox because I want to look beautiful for you because I think you're the best man in the world and I just want to be the prettiest thing on your arm. Second girl goes to, he's like, hey, what'd you spend your money on? She's like, oh my God, I don't have a lot of cash like you do, and I've always wanted to shower you in gifts. So I bought you some new golf clubs and a bunch of new shirts, and oh my gosh, some new shoes. She spent all $5,000 on him. It's pretty damn nice.
That's nice. It's real nice.
The third one.
But it's his money. You can't forget about that.
The third one. He goes, what'd you do with your money? She goes, oh my gosh, I invested it. I did a little day trading. And in a week, I've doubled my money. Here's your $5,000 back.
Heck yeah.
And with the other $5,000, you know what I'm going to do? I'm gonna invest it, and I'm gonna make us a huge nest egg. God forbid anything happens. Don't you worry, baby. I got your back.
Heck yeah.
So out of those three women, do you know which one he picked?
Number 3.
No, the one with the biggest boobs.
Got me.
Oh, it's a pretty good joke. Did you like that?
John, did you watch Iowa football on Saturday?
They shut out, who was it?
Rutgers.
They won 22-0. They shut out Rutgers, and they even got the under.
The under.
And it was 27 and a freaking half.
And everyone was going in on the under 27 and a half.
I went in on it.
John, do you like watching Iowa football? I like asking people this because I get different answers
when I
from
have
different
unders.
People. But like, is it enjoy? Like, if you don't have a bet on Iowa football, or you just sit down and watch it?
I mean, actually, you know what? I can't stand watching Iowa kind of person. I like defense. I like when I like games that are going up and down the field. I just like football, damn it.
I've heard a lot of people. I was talking to one of my buddies the other day, and he said that
it's different, man. I like different. Look, I like redheads. I like blondes. I like brunettes. I like curly hair. I like short hair. I like it all.
I was talking to one of my friends.
What would you call Iowa, by the way?
Well, I'm about to tell you.
Okay.
Because one of my buddies said, I asked him if he watched the Iowa football game. This was Saturday night, and he said no. He said Iowa football is like watching paint dry. I mean, it's so slow. It's so boring. Nobody's scoring. I said, you're looking at it the wrong way. Iowa football is like watching Vincent Van Gogh paint Starry Night while also cutting his ear off at the same time. I mean, it's mesmerizing. It's tough to watch, but it's also beautiful at the same time. I mean, you've got to appreciate the beauty, John.
Your buddy told you that?
No, I told my buddy that because he said it was like watching paint dry.
Well, man, I got to say, I thought for sure whoever said that was going to be a pot smoker because that was some deep stuff.
Interesting.
And you don't smoke any reefer.
No, I don't.
Never have, never will, huh?
No, it's just Iowa football is beautiful.
Man. I like that.
Thank you.
I have to say, it's like Picasso painting Starry Nights. No, it's not.
No. Van Gogh.
Van Gogh.
There you go.
Starry Nights, and then also cutting off his ear.
At the same time. But he's painting with one hand, cutting his ear off with the other.
Jeez. You sound like a party when you go out with. No, that was pretty good.
Thank you.
That was I got to give you a little credit. Now, what other weird story did I have for you that I thought was so great? Oh, did you see Sharon Moore, the coach for Michigan State, who was filling in for Jim Harbaugh? Did you see his post game?
Michigan, not Michigan State. John, you
Did I
get in
say
trouble.
Michigan State?
You get in trouble for that if you're up in Michigan.
Sorry about that. Sorry. Michigan, Jim Harbaugh's team, the one that's under investigation.
He's crying after the game.
Bro,
good for him.
He was crying, but also he was like, I just want to thank the Lord. I want to thank Coach Harbaugh. He's like,
laid it all out on the line, man.
He's like, I effing love you, man.
Yeah,
but he didn't say effing.
No, he did not.
And he said, man, I love the ish out of you. And he didn't say ish. He's like, man. He's like, we got the best players, the best AD, the best university, best alumni in the country. I love you guys. These guys did it, man. Oh, my God. Bro, it wasn't a close football game. There wasn't reason for tears. You just kicked Penn State's ass. James Franklin's terrible.
Sure did.
I hate to say this. I think you just took any chance at being the head ball coach of any program in the history of the world, and you lost it in that 45-second tape where you were crying and cussing on national television. After thumping Penn State.
Heck yeah.
And screaming, I love you, Jim Harbaugh. Oh.
I thought it was very touching, John.
You thought it was
beautiful.
touching?
Oh, yeah.
I thought to myself it was cringy. I was like, bro, like do that in the locker room or something.
Don't do that on national
terrible.
television.
And then I also wanted to bring up this last thing. Do you remember Jeannie Buss from Playboy?
Yes.
Oh, so you saw the Playboy edition?
No, I think I know Jeannie Buss from other things.
Okay, so see, you better let me finish my question because immediately you said yes, and if Melinda was listening, she thinks that you got Playboy.
I can guarantee
that'd
Melinda's
be a very
not.
old Playboy.
I can guarantee Melinda's not listening right now, so I don't think I have to worry about that.
Oh, well, let me tell you something. Melinda, what are you doing that's so important that you're not listening to me?
Working.
Let me ask you something. Okay.
Making money.
All right. I'll give her an excuse. But Lakers owner Jeannie Buss, also again in Playboy, she's married to Jay Moore. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Well, do you know how crazy of a relationship that they have?
I do not. I don't know if I want to know how crazy of a relationship
they live in a 3-unit building. There is the bottom unit, which is massive, the middle unit, which is massive, and then the top unit, which is super massive.
Okay.
Jeannie Buss lives on the top unit.
Okay.
Jay Moore lives on the very bottom unit.
And they're married?
And then some dude just lives in the middle.
And they're married?
Yep. They don't like to live with each other. They like to have a little bit of space. She loves it when she wants to see him. She can go outside, hop in her elevator in her PJs, just ride the elevator down straight to Jay's place, and then they can hang out.
Who's the guy in the middle?
Just some dude.
Huh.
Some rich dude who pays to live in the unit in the middle.
Huh.
Man, all I know is that is if he's Jay Moore. You know, Jeannie Buss is working with the Lakers all the time. He's not doing anything. You think you think he has a back door of his crib where he sneaks all his ladies out?
I mean, maybe. I mean, that obviously, if you're living in two different, complete spaces, you got to think that might happen.
Jay Moore said the other reason they don't live together is she's all clean and keeps everything organized.
He's messy.
He says, I'm a man, I'm a guy, I'm gross. He's like, I like to be in sweats and wrinkly shirt all day.
And you can't do that around her?
He's like sweatpants. I belch in my sleep. He's like, I'm kind of nasty. So they basically get together just to sleep with each other, I'm guessing.
Interesting. That's John,
sounds
out of
like
all the stories you've told
sounds
today,
like a hellacious good marriage, probably.
That's the craziest story I've heard today.
If you're the dude in the middle,
I want to know who the guy in the middle is. I really do.
Some rich dude, man. Some rich dude.
That's the most important factor to the story is who's the guy in the middle.
Yeah, we're going to find that out on the other side, but we're also going to make you some money. We got Broncos at the Bills tonight. I'm going to tell you what side to take. Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Memphis's oldest restaurant, Colettas, was established in 1923 to give Memphians the best Italian food possible. And I'd say they got it right. They are the creators of the barbecue pizza. It was Elvis's favorite, and I know for a fact that a large will feed one person all weekend. If you need to feed several, though, Colettas caters any event. Choose from homemade lasagna, ravioli, Alfredo, primavera, and so many other delicious items you can't help but enjoy. Impress employees or clients and treat them to Colettas for lunch or dinner. Plan ahead and get your holiday party booked at Colettas. Elvis's favorite place to go eat with his buddies at the South Parkway location, and Colettas even has an Elvis room dedicated to him. Call Colettas on South Parkway at 948-7652 or Appling Road at 383-1122. Colettas. It was Elvis's favorite, and it should be yours too.
You've heard of James Gaddis Jewelers, but have you heard what they've done lately? Everything! A tremendous selection of diamonds and jewels, gold, silver, and much more. Lots of watches, tons of custom-made jewelry, fine gemstones, bracelets, necklaces, so many choices. Romantics will love the one-of-a-kind estate and vintage jewelry. James Gaddis has experts to help you with wedding and engagement rings, plus 2 repair experts for fine watches and jewelry. Layaway and financing available. James Gaddis Jewelers at 4900 Poplar.
It doesn't matter if you're at the lake, if you're hunting, fishing, playing golf, or just playing around, Scooters Plus can hook you up with the mobility that you need. Scooters Plus has the largest vehicle and parts inventory in the Mid-South and the best service department. You can choose from ATVs, UTVs, golf carts, motorcycles, dirt bikes, trikes, scooters, and even electric bikes. Come in today to start or wrap up your holiday shopping with 25% down on Christmas layaways. Scooters Plus, 3425 Summer Avenue. Call Sam at 458-8843 or go online to scootersplus.us.
All 36-month lease, $650 acquisition fee. Must finance through Hyundai. Forte LXS PE 694,095, MSRP 21,610. Sportage R722 7239, MSRP 28,715. EVP 560 3393, MSRP 50,200. Includes all rebates and incentives. Excludes tax title and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 11/30/2023 with approved credit. Dealer stock only.
Got Jeff Allen here from Gossett Kia South Mount Moriah. Hey, Jeff, you ready for the holidays with the season of giving back?
I'm ready to give out some great holiday gifts and save you some big bucks. Perfect for the holiday road trips. 41 MPG Highway in a new 2023 Kia Forte LXS $229 a month. $27.99 due at signing. Or a big family that needs more room? 2024 Kia Sportage LX with class-leading cargo room and rear seat leg room, $299 a month. $34.99 due at signing.
What about an EV?
2023 Kia EV6 Wind, 134 City, 101 Highway, MPGE, $379 a month. $49.99 due at signing. All 36-month lease.
Plus a free charger with your EV purchase and Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty.
The way they live in Horn Lake, South Haven, Olive Branch, or Memphis, you'll be happy at Gossett Kia on Mount Moriah.
The Crazy Coop, America's premier wing destination, has 27 delicious flavors to choose from and counting. Like the Buffalo Ranch, a perfect combo of ranch seasoning with a little kick. Mango Habanero, sweet taste of mango followed by the heat. Or sweet maple bourbon. The taste will remind you of chicken and waffles. And that's just 3 of the amazing 27 chicken wing seasonings that you can get at the Crazy Coop in Bartlett at 7199 Stage Road. And now open the Crazy Coop Express at 1315 Ridgeway off Poplar. Some like it hot. How about the Crazy Sweet Lemon Pepper Hot or Crazy Suicide? Can't take the heat? Get the 4-cheese roasted garlic or barbecue bacon bourbon. Ask about the $9.99 lunch special. Now those are some crazy good prices. The Crazy Coop, 2 locations, 7199 Highway 64 between Applin and Kirby Whitten and 1315 Ridgeway off Poplar. Family owned and operated, The Crazy Coop, America's premier wing destination.
Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
Now, back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio, hanging out with Brian Dacus. Again, big thanks to Jake Crane in the first segment. Terry Davis, we talked Tigers, college football, a little NFL, some funny stories. We've had a pretty fun day. Told a joke. It was great. It was great stuff. Now we got a little Monday night action. We got to get a little bit serious. We got the Broncos and the Bills. Currently right now, according to my line, I have Broncos getting 7.5 points. That's when you got to lay 115. Or you can take the Bills minus the 7.5, lay 105. Right now, let's just look at this Buffalo Bills team. If you haven't paid attention in the last few weeks, there's something clearly bothering Josh Allen's shoulder. He, in the last month, is the worst passer in the National Football League other than Zach Wilson. It passes over 15 yards. That used to be his bread and butter. He's obviously got a shoulder injury. It's bothering him. He did get an extra night of rest since it's a Monday night game. I don't know if it's going to be enough. This Broncos team, by the way, again, winners of 2 straight. Then they went on a bye. They got to be feeling a little bit better. Remember when they gave up 70 damn points to the Miami Dolphins? I remember it. It was ridiculous. But since they gave up that 70 points to the Dolphins, they have beaten the Bears, they have beaten the Packers, and they've beaten the Chiefs. They somehow, I still haven't figured out how it is they lost to the Jets this year, but they did lose to the Jets. It's just a terrible one. But, man, I feel like 7.5 points right now with Josh Allen playing the way he is, as many turnovers. I'm not a big believer in this Bills defense. I can't believe I'm saying this, Russ Dickulus might be able to do a little bit of cooking. And I don't think that Denver defense is all that bad. They got some dudes over there. I think they keep it within 7.5. Buffalo ekes out a win, 3 to 4 points. The right side, though, it's the Denver Broncos. And, yes, I almost want to vomit in my mouth saying that. I'm not a big Russell Wilson fan. Sean Payton's annoying. But I'm taking him tonight plus the 7.5. For Brian Dacus, I'm John Harden. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. I hope you have a great Monday. Get out there, make the world a better place. We'll see you on the flip side. Peace.
Hey, everybody.